So the other day, a random stranger in the park asked me for advice on language learning. This was a young father. His 2-year-old boy was at the park and they were trying to leave, but the boy, of course, did not want to leave. So this dad, he kept one eye on his very energetic boy and 2 ears on me while I gave him my best advice at lightning speed. And I'm gonna do the same thing for you. What are the best things that you can do to take that step forward in your English, to really take your English to the next level? You want to get good at speaking English, right? You want to open your mouth and feel comfortable and natural speaking. There is absolutely no substitute for speaking every day. And I don't mean short conversations. Hi, how are you? The same things that you repeat over and over. No, you need to be able to speak every day in extended conversations, going deep about different topics, going into the detail that you may never have gone into before. How do you find a way to speak every day? I'll tell you what I did. I did this by having a kid and speaking to my son in Spanish. My 2 children became like my personal trainers, and they are the best because they are your in-home personal trainers who are endlessly curious, endlessly hungry to know about the world. They are actively asking you questions about everything under the sun. You get to talk about these things in an amazing degree of detail and depth. This is the best way, I think, that you can build daily speaking into your life, is have a kid and speak to that kid in English. But I realize not everybody is in the position to have a kid just to be your in-home English coach. So if you don't have a kid that you can speak to every day, get a little dog. Speak to your dog. Speak to your plant. Get a fish. Put the fish in a bowl and talk to that fish as if he is your intellectual equal. Tell him your plans, narrate what you're doing, talk about what you've been reading, talk about what you did at work today. Talk to that fish in as much detail as you can, because speaking on a daily basis is going to do 2 things for you. 1, the more you do this day after day, the more natural it feels for you to open your mouth and English comes out, and you don't even notice that you're speaking English. That's how natural it is for you, right? It's just that daily speaking over and over that creates this naturalness. And number 2, when you speak in depth about a range of subjects, it allows you to find the gaps in your English. So you are building yourself a second home in English. You are constructing this, putting all the pieces into place to build this home for yourself in English. But guess what? Your home has some holes in the walls, pieces that you don't have in place yet. The best way to discover these gaps, these missing pieces in your English, is when you're speaking and you realize, I don't know how to say something. Now, some people call this getting stuck, and they see this as a negative thing. Oh, I was speaking English and I got stuck. But I want you to shift your perspective. And when you have this situation where you're speaking and you realize, here's something that I don't know how to say, I want you to see this as an opportunity. You have just discovered a gap in your English. This is a place where you have something to learn so that you can find the missing piece and fill in that gap. Don't be ashamed that you don't know something. Treat this as an opportunity to learn. Then you can let go of a lot of the anxiety around speaking, because you are not pretending to be something that you're not. You're not pretending that you already know it all. And so the pressure is off. This is why speaking in a safe situation on a daily basis is so good for you. So you're speaking every day to your kid, to your dog, to your plant, to your fish, or into your phone. You are looking for these gaps, and when you find them, you get happy and you look for a way to fill that gap. Next, you need to know the best way to fill those gaps. And what do you do to form strong memories so that you can really use the English that you're trying to learn. Watch this video next.